the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for March 2022. So welcome to March. We definitely have a big month ahead of us. It is going to start a little bit dark, a little bit heavy, a little bit slow, but you best believe mid-month we are just going to take off like a rocket. You have no idea how busy things are going to get. We are definitely going to get a lot busier in our lives, seeing a lot of moves being made, seeing dramatic changes in our physical realms. This particular month vibrates at the number 3. 3 rules over the mental plane. It rules over our information, our perspective, our communication, and how it is that we express ourselves. We've had a lot of time to sit introvertedly, really reflecting over our thoughts, over our feelings. We've had a lot of time to take a good look at some of the changes within ourselves that we have to make. And we've been doing the work to make sure that our heart and our head are on the same page in order for us to kind of trigger our physical bodies to go ahead and take the actions that we know we have to make in order to transform our physical realms to mirror the inner work in which we have been doing. This number 3 is a divine number. We have to understand, coming out of a number 2 vibration from February, that was about finding stability. That was about unifying. That was about balance. This particular month with 3 in mind, we are adding on to some of the aha moments, some of the changes that have taken place within us and in our physical realms under the 2 vibration. This month is the only full month that we have with all planets direct. Yes, that's right. All planets are now direct. This is the very first time since April of 2021 that all planets are direct. We have Mercury now out of his shadow period. Venus will get out of her fog here very early on in the month. And we have all the green light go ahead and start making some changes, taking some action, because at the end of April, we are going to have planets start going retrograde again. So the very first part of this month, of course, is Pisces season. Pisces season is for us to move inward, for us to get in alignment, for us to see what it is we got to get rid of, create a space for, in order for the new elements to actually have a space to be created and anchored into our lives. But Pisces season is the ending of the zodiac wheel. This is why we're going through a dark phase. This is why we are essentially seeing parts of our lives and ourselves die. This is a purge in order to lighten the load for what comes when we enter into the second part of March. Of course, we enter into Aries season. We initiate a brand new astrological calendar, and it comes with the equinox. This gives us some fire back. If you've been following the elemental energy profiles of each of the seasons and each of the moon events, you will know we haven't had much fire to work with. Fire is life. It is excitement. It is passion. It is action. It is desire. And many of us have been lacking a lot of that. Many of us so overwhelmed with life that we are essentially numb, very much Piscean energy. So once we hit this second part of March, you best believe there is going to be a lot of action, a lot of bold moves, a lot of fast changes, and some pretty big steps forward. We do have to just kind of understand that moving through the very first part of March is going to be semi-difficult. Pisces energy is no joke. Luckily for us, we have a new moon taking place in Pisces on the 2nd. This is really going to help us clean out the dark closet of our shadow thoughts, our shadow emotions, really set us up to be futuristically focused. Now we're starting to get confident and optimistic again. And this is a prime energy preparing us for the green light go when that fire energy inspires us to take action, to make moves, to actually see the big transformations take place in our physical realms that we've been working on inside of us, in our psyche, in our heart space. So the new moon in Pisces is going to trigger the halfway point of the Piscean life lesson. So now we're kind of letting go of the darkness, letting go of the shadow. We are finding our balance point in the awareness of what was unconscious, what came up for illumination, for integration. And now we're really pushing the boundaries of looking forward. What do we want to do? Where do we want to be? What is the dream? What is the vision? What is the emotion that we have to back that visual with in order to actually manifest it? We are going to get a huge help with that new moon in Pisces. It is going to be a little bit of a dark energy to wade through. It is our goal to override those negative thoughts, those negative narratives, in order to hold that vision very strong in our mind space. March 3rd, we have Venus conjunct Pluto for the third and final time. Rewind back to December 11th. This is the first time that the goddess of love and beauty and relationships and value and worth and money went head to head with Pluto, the great transformer. Yes, he brings death and destruction. Yes, he highlights our pain and suffering in order for us to be motivated, inspired to move away from all the darkness, from all the power struggles within. The second time they bumped into each other was on December 24th. This time, Venus was retrograde. She was in her darkness for 40 days and 40 nights. That is when we realized a lot about our own self-worth. We realized where it is that we've been giving our power away and where it is that we need to take it back. And now Venus is amping up. She is ready to leave her shadow period, ready to step out of the fog. And you best believe that there is going to be some dramatic changes in our relationships, in how we hold ourselves, in our money matters, in the way that we actually move in our day-to-day lives, saying no to things that do not honor us, saying yes to things that bring us closer to our vision, to our dream. This is truly when we stand in our feminine, divine energy. And we got a lot of opportunities to definitely muster up a brand new bravery, a brand new courage to do what is right for us and align us with the path that will bring us the most happiness and the most joy. March 4th, that is when Venus leaves her shadow period. This is when the drugs wear off, when she has a clear-cut view on what it is that she needs to do in her life in order to make her heart happy, to get her heart aligned with her head, to dissolve the power struggles within, dissolve the power struggles in some of the personal relationships, and step up to the plate and start asking for what it is that she wants, what it is she needs, what it is that she desires. This is a true lesson in our worth. We have to stop limiting ourselves. We have to stop saying yes to things that we should be saying no to. This is going to be a huge jolt in our energy where our balance in our heart space is concerned. March 5th, we have the Sun conjunct Jupiter. This is an annual event. Anytime a planet meets up with the Sun, of course, the Sun is our life force. It's our will, it's our focus, it's our determination. Anytime a planet lines with the Sun, this begins a brand new chapter. Jupiter is about growth and expansion, belief, blessings, and abundance. He is in Piscean energy. This pushes us to lean into our spiritual practice, pushes us to trust our intuition. This is going to shine a bright light on the spiritual growth that we are all doing in order to find ourselves in this beautiful state of manifesting. This is going to be a beautiful energy. It's a positive energy to work with. We are going to start seeing the big picture of our dreams, of our vision, and the strategy in which we need to follow in order to get there. And this is essentially a reset of our own life force. This is when we're going to start feeling a little bit more alive again, coming out of the darkness, coming out of the ball that we've been crawled up in, trying to avoid life in all its complexities. On March 6th, we have a pretty big event as well, because Venus and Mars, masculine and feminine energies, are going to move into Aquarius hand in hand at 0 degrees. Now, they have been traveling with each other, holding hands with one another since mid-February. They actually conjunct under that full moon in Leo, very, very heart-led, very much showing us where it is that we have to balance the masculine and feminine energies within us. What does this mean? Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and happiness and joy, she is receptive. She trusts her intuition. She trusts her emotions, but she would rather sit back and let the universe kind of gift her with whatever it is that she desires. Now, Mars, on the other hand, he is the god of war. He rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. He exerts himself. He pushes himself through life in order to go after what it is that he wants. Because Venus was a little bit sleepy, a little bit groggy, a little bit foggy because she was still in her shadow period, the masculine energy took the feminine divine energy's hand and said, hey, let me lead us into this next chapter. Let me push the way for us to actually align with what it is that we want. We can no longer sit back and let things happen to us. We have to go ahead, take action, and make things happen for us. This is a trigger for karmic connections, for twin flames, soulmates, soul family members coming back. This is an initiation of a huge transformation in our love pursuits, in our money pursuits, in our creative pursuits. This is magic. This is another very wanted and needed reset in our own personal energy and in our physical relationships. We have this beautiful shift when Mercury on the 9th moves into Pisces. So we're going to get a little bit dreamy. We're going to get a little bit empathetic. We're going to get in touch with our emotions. We're going to get in touch with the energy that is needed in order to inspire us to actually pursue our dreams. Mercury, while in Aquarius, was big, futuristically, strategic, acting as the observer to see where it is that we need to improve certain areas of our life. Now, Mercury moving into Pisces is definitely going to give us a little bit more of a creative flair. This is when the artists come out to play, the poets, the writers, the musicians come out to play. It is a very emotionally transformative energy in order to get our heart and our head in alignment with the dreams that we now have, with the vision that we are now triggered to pursue. It is going to be a dramatic shift. We might be a little bit more sentimental. We might be a little bit more over emotional than we would prefer, but we are also tapping into some huge insights from our intuition. We're able to channel in those higher realms, tap into new abilities in order to trust our intuition, in order to trust the plan, and of course, take a leap in faith and really take a very big step forward in aligning ourselves with the dreams and with the visions that Mercury in Aquarius helped us to really define. On the 12th, we have the Sun conjunct with Neptune, another annual meetup. Neptune, of course, is dreams, is spirituality, is creativity. This is pure magic. This is very much focused on our spiritual growth. This is when we're going to see a huge unification in the world. Our compassion, our empathy for one another peaks. Our creativity peaks. Our dreams become a little bit more manifest here in this physical realm. And at this particular point in the calendar, we are resetting our hopes, our dreams, our faith. We are connecting to the higher realms. We are gaining huge intuitive insights that will last us for the next year. So on the 16th, we have a little bit of asteroid action here. We have asteroid Pallas, asteroid Chiron, conjunct in Aries energy. So Pallas is the asteroid of strength and courage. It's the fearless energy, the independent energy, the stand up for what is right, for what it is that you believe in kind of energy. Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer planetoid. And we come into this world with a bunch of wounds. We also come in with the knowledge and how to heal them. These two kind of, meeting up in this Aries energy, which is fire and leadership and passion. This is going to empower us. This is going to boss us up in all the right ways. This is going to renew our strength, renew our hope, renew our willpower and determination to stand our ground, to be able to fight for what is right. Where it is that we've been feeling weak and vulnerable, now we are going to feel strong and empowered. This is the shift that humanity needs at this particular point, and it's coming at a beautiful time, just days before our full moon in Virgo. So the full moon in Virgo takes place on March 18th. This is the very first moon event that we have to work with after this whole Piscean blahness, okay? We are days away from Aries season, days away from the equinox energy, days away from the reset of moving into a brand new astrological calendar. So a full moon, as you know, is about releasing and purging and letting go and surrendering. And because we're moving into a brand new year, I want you to treat this as if we were moving into the brand new year of 2022. What you would be contemplating, what you would be reflecting on, as in the past year's topics and themes, we need to acknowledge it. We need to make peace with it. We need to recognize what it is that we're not carrying into the new year as far as emotional and mental baggage goes. Now, the Virgo energy, earth energy, but ruled over by Mercury. This is a lot of thinking, a lot of mental energy that we are able to actually channel in our physical bodies and manifest, bringing it to life. That is how the earth energy works. It gives us an opportunity to bring something to our physical realms. But the Virgo energy is highly critical and judgmental of oneself, very focused on perfection, very focused on the health and wellness, what it is we have to do in our day-to-day tasks, our day-to-day chores. And we tend to get a little bit consumed with showing up and being of service to other people when we have yet to show up and be of service to ourselves. So these topics and themes are going to come up for us to review, for us to get a good mindset on what it is that we need to do in order to leave the emotional and mental baggage behind in the old calendar, to free us up and lighten the load for the brand new astrological calendar to take place. Now, Neptune is very active. We have to understand that Piscean energy and Virgo energy sit across from one another in the zodiac wheel. Neptune is in its place of power in Pisces, and this is definitely going to boost our spiritual knowledge, our spiritual practices, our spiritual insights, recognizing that our spiritual selves need to be in balance in order for our physical health and wellness, our physical realms, our daily realms, in order to be healthy. These two need to work in tandem with one another. It's going to be super hard to see the truth in our physical realms. That's why we have to lean all the way into our intuition, to our higher selves in order to guide us through. And like I said, we're going to be riding off the full moon coattails as we move into Aries season on the 20th. This is a celebration, people. This is a brand new energy, a brand new year. The equinox gives us an opportunity to balance out the energies, to use a clean slate before us, to go ahead and start taking action, start building towards the vision that we have for ourselves. And we're not going to be afraid to do that. Many of us have had sea legs in Pisces season. That is where the fear gets trapped. We know that we have to make some moves, and many of us get cold feet in contemplating those particular moves. That is a thing of the past. Once we move into Aries season, it fires us up. It makes us bold and brave. We don't care what happened in the past. We're not limited by our past thoughts, emotions, and experiences. We only want to concentrate on the here and now. What can we do in the here and now to align us with the dreams and the visions that we now know we have to pursue? This is literally us getting the green light to go ahead and make the moves and take the actions. This is a transitional period. This would be a good time to reflect back over this past year and see what parts of you have died, what elements of your life have died, what relationships have died, what attachments have you let go of, and what is being reborn. This particular energy moving into Aries season, moving into the equinox, this is a rebirth. This is a beautiful, beautiful freaking thing. Now, on the 27th, we do have Mercury moving out of Pisces. Yep, you're right. That was only a very short very short period of time that Mercury stayed in Piscean energy, but that's okay. Trust me, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to want to move out of Piscean energy ASAP. So Mercury moving into Aries, we are very direct. We're very straightforward in our thinking, in our communication. We are bold. We are brave. We are in the pursuit of happiness and joy. We are aggressing ourselves, thinking very boldly, very confidently, speaking just as bold and brave, and we are getting shit done. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful freaking energy to work with. Our mental plane is going to be on fire. Many of us have had a hard time in the mental plane, having a hard time completing a thought, really having a hard time actually getting our thoughts out of our mouths in the correct order, in the correct way. So this is going to be a fiery energy for us to work with in our thoughts, in our understanding, and in our communication and expression. And lastly, depending on where it is that you're at in the world, we are going to have our new moon in Aries. For some of us, it's going to take place on March 31st. For others, it will take place on April 1st. So we do have our brand new moon in Aries to set the tone for what it is that we want to see take place in this new astrology calendar, in this new moon manifesting phase. This is going to be a very big, bold, brave, courageous, aggressive energy to set the new intentions under. And again, let me remind you, the second half of March is lit. It is going to be exhausting. That's why I've been saying, take the rest now, rest your body now, take this time out now. Don't push your physical body now. Do the work inside of yourself now so that you know that you will not waste an ounce of your physical energy once Aries season hits, and we're going to get the green light go to start making changes, making moves in our physical realms. There's a lot of peaking energy happening here, and that's why Pisces season was so dark and slow and very heavy and very weighted, because we had to acknowledge the darkness, we had to acknowledge the blocks and obstacles, we had to acknowledge that, work through it, integrate it to free ourselves up to move like a lightning bug when the Aryan energy hits. So that is just a general summary on what it is that we can expect for March. Let's break each of these astro events down, beginning with the new moon in Pisces.